What's up, everybody, and welcome to Mevo Live. My name is Will Kirkpatrick, and I am a senior technical specialist here at Mevo. And today on our show, we're going to answer all of your questions. We are live today on YouTube and Twitch instead of our regular YouTube and Facebook. We wanted to use the highest resolution possible for our show because we want to demo, of course, the best quality possible. So today I am using Mevo Start that is connected to my PC over here using wireless webcam, and for audio I'm using this blue microphone. This is a Bluebird, and it is connected to an M Audio Air little switcher over there, and then going back into the Mevo Start using a 3.5 millimeter TRS cable. And today I am joined with Joseph Pisani as well. Let's pull him in here and he can tell you about his setup.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for watching and happy to be here. So today's setup it's a little bit different than yours, Will. So today I'm using a Mevo Start right here, and this is going NDI into my OBS system through my laptop, and then I'm coming into our conferencing program here, Video Ninja. I'm coming in via the OBS NDI output. So it's a different routing configuration than using the wireless webcam, but this allows me to kind of put OBS as like a middleman in the mix here. So if I do want to transition to a different scene, something like this, I can absolutely do that.
Nice. And we are using a cool program called Video Ninja to kind of bring everything together right now because we're obviously in two different locations. And we've got Joe Capehart doing all the switching and everything like that behind the scenes. So that's really cool as well. Also, if you are watching on YouTube uh, and you haven't already followed us on Twitch, we are twitch.com/Mevo Camera, just like we are on YouTube. So that goes both ways. So yeah, definitely throw any question that you have regarding the Mevo 2.0 app or the Multicam app or anything else Mevo related, and we'll be happy to answer any of those as well as do any demos that we can do. All right, cool. So we actually have a question just right off the bat from
Oh, cool.
Kevin on YouTube. It says, will the Mevo cameras keep connection to multiple Wi-Fi networks, or must they be reconfigured every time moving between networks? So every time you switch the Wi-Fi network, you have to configure the Mevo to that Wi-Fi network. So unfortunately, it's not able to connect automatically to different Wi-Fi networks, but it can save that Wi-Fi information so you don't have to enter the password every time.
And that's the same for different wireless networks, right? So if I'm using my Mevo at home, it remembers my home network. When I bring my Mevo to work, it'll remember the work network as well. So I don't have to reconfigure the password or anything there.
Right.
Cool.
Also, actually, we've got some graphics that I want to show you right now. We've got a great graphic for the Mevo 3 pack, which is available on Mevo.com, as well as our resellers. You can find it, I think, Amazon, Best Buy, Adorama, I think B&H as well. So it's kind of everywhere, but it is selling out really fast. So it's definitely a good time to pick one up if you have the chance. And speaking of purchasing further Meevos, we have a referral program, and we are constantly being told by people that they are telling everybody about the Mevo that they're using, whether it's at a baseball game or a house of worship or just out somewhere in the wild. And people are always asking them about what they're using. So we have this great referral program where if you refer that person to purchase a Mevo, Mevo.com, they will save 5%, and then you'll earn 5% commission as well. So you can learn more about that at mevo.com/referral. And you can also have custom referral codes, which Joe always reminds me of each time. So if you have a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel that you want to kind of advertise that, you can have a custom referral code and share that with everybody. Make some extra money, which is always nice.
Yeah, and of course, just to let everyone know, if this is your first time seeing one of our shows or first time visiting us here, we changed our schedule up a little bit. We're doing 2 shows a week now. We're doing Ask Mevo Anything on Tuesdays, and on Thursdays we're doing Mevo Live, and that's where we do a lot of demonstrations, a lot of different configurations using the Mevo. But today, Tuesday shows Ask Mevo Anything. So if you do have any questions, please put them in the chat for YouTube or Twitch. So that's Mevo Camera at YouTube or Twitch.
Cool. All right. So let's see. Something actually that has, I think you were gone during this time, but we actually recently released the 2.5 update. And also, yeah, I think that's right. 2.5 update,
Mhm.
which includes free graphics and free Mevo mics now. That's not limited anymore in the Mevo 2.0 app. And then it also brings NDI HEVC as well.
That's a fantastic upgrade. I mean, just we we've heard from our customers a lot that they want the graphics, so now they have the graphics. And then using HEVC, it's just basically cutting in half the bandwidth that it takes to stream in 1080. Really, is what you're doing, or the bit rate, excuse me, which is awesome. So now you have a better compression algorithm that'll send high quality video using less network strain. So this is a huge improvement for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were actually asked, I think it was last week, why anybody wouldn't use HEVC, and we were just experiencing that earlier when we were doing a little bit of testing. We were finding that it didn't work as well as we were hoping with Video Ninja, and so that is why it is an optional toggle, because not everything is built for HEVC, and you'll also see HEVC listed as H.265. If you're already familiar with H.264, you kind of know a little bit about that. So it is optional for that reason. It's not 100% compatible with every program and application that there is, but it is really, really great for the 99% of the programs out there that do accept it. Yeah, cutting that bandwidth in half is huge.
Yeah, for sure. And it's one of those things where it's a transitional development, right? So every time there's a new compression algorithm, anytime there's a new way to just make things run smoother, make things run faster on your computers, take less strain on your CPU, those are going to take time and for people to develop to acclimate to those. I mean, the M1 Apple is a huge example of that, obviously, right? Using the silicone chip. Everyone had to catch up to that. And same thing's going to happen with NDI. Same thing's going to happen with HEVC, different formats. It's just a matter of just waiting for everyone to catch up. And then, obviously it'll just go from there.
Definitely. All right. Yeah, let us know in chat if you are already using HEVC and if you found that it has been, helpful to you, as well as, making sure that it is working properly and all that stuff. And I think I mentioned a little bit last week as well, but I think it's really interesting that this technology has actually been a part of the kind of Mevo ecosystem for a while now. You've been able to use HEVC to do recordings in the Mevo 2.0 app, and then of course the Multicam app is kind of based around HEVC because the cameras are sending HEVC video to the Multicam app to kind of reduce that internal network load. So yeah, it's really cool technology. The 2.5 update is really, really cool. We have some great stuff coming down the line, which I think you'll see us talking about in the next week or so. And so we're excited to get into that. But yeah, for now, make sure you've done that update to 2.5 and are using those graphics and NDI updates. Let's see. Do we have some questions coming in chat? It looks like we've got some good viewership on Twitch, which I really like to see. I'm a huge fan of Twitch myself. I don't broadcast as much as I'd like to on Twitch, but I think it's a great platform, and I'd certainly love to see more user broadcasts, Mevo user broadcasts on Twitch, because it is such a cool platform, and it really is really good for engaging your chat audience. I think even better than YouTube is. So definitely, if you use the Mevo to broadcast on Twitch, let us know. Post it on Facebook. Post it in chat. We'd love to check it out. Yeah. Let's see. Got a question in chat. A royal perspective video overlay time frame. So, so you're asking, is there a time frame for video overlays? I'm not sure if you're asking specifically for the Multicam or the Mevo 2.0 app, but we don't currently have a time frame for video overlays. But it's definitely something, that we get asked a lot, and it's something that we'd like to include, but no time frame on that at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good idea though. Like having that video overlay for intros, outros, and stuff like that. I think, it's just a matter of what goes into that, right? You're gonna have to load up a video depending on what format that video is in, how the size of that video, how it's being broadcast. I mean, it's essentially like a whole nother category that you're adding to the camera, which is something that we're definitely going to look into, and something we have talked about a lot too. But there's a lot to it. There's more than people know, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it would be, a really heavy load on the app, but um, there's definitely some cool workaround ways that, we're looking into as well to kind of make that happen. But yeah, highly requested feature. Hopefully we can bring that to you in the future. Charlie says the new version Mevo 2.0 app seems to require a firmware update to use, as even if I say I don't want to update, it won't connect to the Mevo. So some of our updates are required to do before being able to use your Mevo. This is mostly because we want these updates to really be done because it's for the betterment of the user and the Mevo and everything like that. So it is important. I don't think the 2.5 app comes with a required firmware update. I think that actually happened slightly before the 2.5 app update came out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably lined up like that for you.
Yeah, and it's also you want to do the update, right? As we just talked about the
Yeah.
graphics, that'll open up for you once you do your update. If you don't update your Mevo, then you don't get that feature, and that's a feature that's pretty sought out. So, um, anytime anytime there's an update, I mean, there's a reason for it. We don't do updates randomly, right? It's going to be either problems that were reported by our users that we found on our own, things that need to be fixed as far as bugs, or just if we're adding new feature requests, for example. I think the mandatory update was adding that HEVC toggle now. I think that was part of the mandatory update. But if you don't update, you're missing out on whatever's new. So we always recommend doing your updates.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Charlie on YouTube says Mevo 2.5 audio through the USB Lightning port for the iPhone. So yeah, you can actually can still do that in the Mevo 2.5 update. Yeah, it hasn't changed. You can still bring in audio through the Lightning port on the iPhone and through USB if you have Android phone or an iPad Pro. So yeah, you can definitely still do that.
Yeah, and there's a couple of advantages to that as well. Because if you're using the USB audio, or if you're using like a USB microphone or something like that, you still can take advantage of the internal microphones on the Mevo. So you can get a blend if you want to do a blend, or if you want to record the room sound under a direct signal. That's pretty popular too. Whereas if you're using the 3.5 millimeter on the back of the Mevo, that disables that feature for the internal mics. So if people have questions about that, we can break that down even further if we need to. But good to know.
Let's see. Kevin says, any plans to allow changing the font size on graphics? We don't have any current plans for that, but I do like that a lot. I think that changing the font size and maybe just like the font in general would be a really cool idea. I'd love to see that. So hopefully we can bring that to you in the future as well. Let's see. Charlie says 2.4.3 app does not ask for a firmware update. Will the firmware upgrade to 2.5 still allow the app version 2.4.3 to work with the upgraded 2.5? No.
Yeah, I don't think so. When I upgraded to 2.5, it upgraded the app and the firmware.
Yeah.
It was like they went together.
I want to let 2.5 apps soak for a while. So I wouldn't recommend it. I think you're gonna miss out a lot on the 2.5 features. 2.5 comes with a lot of great stuff. Including all those graphics that you couldn't do before, and that includes, of course, presentations and countdowns and all that stuff, as well as the NDI update that we were just talking about with HEVC. So, 2.5 has been out now for a week or two or something like that, and we've had no issues reported. So, all clear for that. I would highly recommend doing it.
Yeah, I feel like there is this hesitation with some people to do an update, right? Because it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But when you're unlocking features and stuff like that, that's the time to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see.
Cool.
So, yeah, we can definitely do any demos if you guys want us to show you around. We can show you the app system or the graphics system right now in the Mevo 2.0 app, and we can actually show you that it can be done now without being logged into Vimeo at all.
Okay, so here is the Mevo 2.0 app. If it looks weird out of sync, it's because you're seeing a preview, but I want to be able to show you their settings. So on here, I'm running version 2.5, which you should be able to see there. So now I can use my graphics. So if you want to get to your graphics, it's the picture frame on an easel on the bottom right-hand side. I could pull up my graphics there. And from here, I have a bunch of options I can do. I could do a full screen overlay. If I click here, grab myself a slide, I can use, let's go Meevo Live. And there we go. So now I can create a slide that way and have that be a full screen graphic while that uploads. But while that's working, I can also do some other things. Let's say I want to create a countdown. I can do the same thing. Let's select that time. Click on the camera on the bottom left of the main preview. We got Meevo Live. And there we go. Now we have our countdown ready to go. So in order to use those in your broadcast, once they're loaded up, what you want to do is go to your section of wherever you want your demo to be. So if you're doing a full screen, you want to click the plus sign in the middle. Okay. And let's say we want to use that countdown. We click it, hit our check mark. And then if you look in my output right there on the top right, that's going to be what's outputting to my, let me look at this guy. That's what's going to be outputting to my my audience. That's going to be the countdown. If you notice, I also have the follow faces on too, so you get to take advantage of that as well, which is kind of fun. So let's say I want to move that countdown to a different spot. I absolutely can. So now the countdown is in the top right corner, or whatever graphic you want to use. And when I want to get rid of it, there's a little red stop button on the top right corner. Hit that, hit the check mark, and you're good to go. The graphic is gone. So this is the same routine for whatever graphic you want to use, whether it be a lower third. Let's say we take a lower third, put a little picture on it, add our text here, say hey, and there we go. Now we have our little lower third. If I'm moving too fast, guys, let me know. Hopefully you can follow along. But we want to pop that in our on our lower third on the left-hand side there. And there we go. Now it's out for our stream. So this is just a way that you can use graphics to really enhance what you're doing as far as your production is involved. If you want to add just that extra element of productivity, I guess, well, what's the right word for that, Will? The element of, like, I guess, professionalism to your streams, right? Having those graphics.
Yeah. I mean, you add it like a nice professional level to the stream. Adds more. It's more of a dynamic stream. It's more engaging. Obviously, you're conveying more information. I know I was just talking to somebody in tickets about how they were using the graphics now for PDFs to do lyrics for their house of worship services. And that's obviously a hugely popular one. I love the PDF feature. I'm really happy that we have this now available without any sort of paying subscription. But I do want to mention that Vimeo is still a great thing to have. Vimeo Producer and Vimeo Premium for multi-destination. That's a pretty big feature that's really popular because I know that a lot of people love going to their big Facebook groups, but also to YouTube for that quality improvement there as well. So yeah. So yeah, we have I guess
a lot of
we've got
questions.
we've got some people coming in on YouTube.
Yeah, I got a bunch in Talk here. Here's one for you, Will, since you're the multicam guru.
Yeah.
Kevin says, what is the limit of cameras that can be added to the multicam app? Pretty easy one.
Yeah, so right now it is 3 Meevos in the Multicam app. You can use any of the Mevo First Gen, Mevo Plus, or Mevo Start. But yeah, it's limited to 3 right now. But we're definitely pushing for more, for sure.
Sweet. And actually, there's one right after that. He says, this is Gene, says, I found that the audio from my multicam stream is saved to my iPad is out of sync. Any ideas on correcting it?
Yeah, you shouldn't
have
recorded
audio.
Yeah, you shouldn't be having sync issues. But yeah, I would say it depends, how you're bringing that audio in. If you're bringing it in via Mevo mic, you might have some sync issues due to Wi-Fi, but definitely open up a ticket with us. Go to help.mevo.com and we can help you with it one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too. It's just, double check everything, right? So double check that your Wi-Fi connection is good, that your network is good, that you have enough bit rate to stream whatever you're streaming or whatever you're recording at that, on that network, because that's probably the number one thing that'll cause out of sync issues. Really, is just strength of the network.
Yeah, another thing you could check is your latency setting in multicam, and you might also want to see if you lower your camera input resolution if that delay is still there.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
All right. Are there any plans to allow more than 50 slides in a presentation? I think we get asked that every live show, and hopefully in the future we can add that, add more slides, because it seems like people really want that. And our developers watch the show and everything like that, so they are getting direct feedback from you. So hopefully we can add that ability in the future.
Awesome. It looks like Charlie says, just for a more clear understanding, with the new features offered in the 2.5, if I decide to go to 2.5, is there any way of going back to a previous software? No.
Yeah.
No, there is not. So once you go and you're there, and you're going to be happy because you'll have all this new stuff to play with. That's what I can say. But like you said, Will, earlier, is we've been using 2.5 for what, over a week now?
Yeah.
2 weeks now.
Plus, we've been using 2.5 internally for even longer than that. So
yeah, for sure. But publicly, it's been a week, so we haven't seen any gripes about it really yet at all. So
Yep. Let's see. Frank says, does Mevo send separate updates for the camera and the app? Sometimes, yeah. We try and bundle them together for a smoother update experience. But yeah, sometimes we send uh, just firmware updates, and sometimes it's just app updates. So you'll see
Yeah,
both.
absolutely. Sweet. Eric coming in. He says, "Can the Mevo Start work with apps like Streamyard?" Absolutely. So Streamyard, for those who don't know, is a browser-based broadcasting app, or I guess website. But they take input through webcam. They take NDI. So there's a couple different ways you can input the Mevo camera into that. I would just be, if you're running into issues, maybe just change the browser. I know it absolutely works for Chrome, but sometimes people use it on different browsers. They run into different issues with StreamYard. So I've always had a good experience using it on Chrome. So if you are using StreamYard and you are running into issues, I would check the browser before anything else.
Definitely. All right, let's see. Brian says, is there a possibility of you adding a mute button on the Multicam app so we can mute sound at any time? I was streaming a ball game and someone was playing music in between innings, and Facebook shut my stream down because of copyright. Yeah, so I mean, the Multicam app definitely has a mute button that you can use. It's I guess not on the direct homepage, but it's just one tap away. And I think we can pull up the Multicam app and show you how we can just quickly mute and unmute audio.
Let me pull that up real quick. All right, so cool. You can see that all right?
Yep.
So, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, but the mute button right here is we'll mute the overall output of the stream, right?
Yes. So that's just monitoring for you up there at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
you can jump into. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll walk along with you.
You can jump into the volume settings by just tapping that waveform icon at the bottom of the screen, and then as you can see, it'll show your output for each camera, and then you can just quickly adjust it like that, and then mute it and unmute it by just tapping that volume icon.
There you go.
So
right now I have one camera set up. Let's go back to my cameras. So this is the one camera set up on my multicam. And then when I go back over here, it's showing me that camera, and I can mute it right there. Cool.
Super quick. All right. Let's see. Another multicam question. We got Jeff Young says, if I am using multicam, can you tell me where the recordings are stored, specifically the live stream that is going out? Yeah, so multicam is really awesome when it comes to recording. You have two options. The top option is the recording to device, and that'll record into your default Photos app. So it's Google Photos is the one on Google on Android, and then Photos is the one on iOS. And so those are where the recordings will be saved if you do record to device. And then if you do ISO recording, it'll record to each Mevo's micro SD card. So you have two options. You can obviously do one or the other and do both of them at the same time.
And you can change your qualities from the record menu as well to how you want them to be recorded.
Yeah, I think recording in the Multicam app is hugely underrated. I recently have begun using record to device and just saving, so it'll go straight to my phone, and then I'll post it immediately onto a social network, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or something like that. So I really love record to device. It cuts down on time for just sending those videos out. So definitely recommend doing that. Let's see. Junior says, do you have a call center that I can contact? So we don't do phone support at this time, but we're happy to handle any questions that you have. If you head over to help.mevo.com and open up a ticket, and happy to answer anything.
Yeah, I think we have a graphic for that too. Let's see if we can pull that up. See if we can catch the man behind the curtain off guard. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. Well, help.mevo.com. No
All right.
worries. But one thing I do want to mention, and we are getting a lot of questions, which is great. But if you don't know today, if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're looking for us on Facebook and you didn't see us on Facebook, we actually are streaming also to Twitch. So at Mevo Camera at Twitch and at Mevo Camera at YouTube today is where you can see the show live. So for those that were looking on Facebook, hopefully you guys saw the links there and jumped over. For those looking on YouTube, if you have a Twitch account, hop over to Twitch and give us a follow or a like or a subscription.
Yeah, it's twitch.tv/Mevo Camera. And just so you're all aware, you can also always catch our shows after they're done streaming on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Mevo Camera. Just in case you missed any live show while it was happening. It's it's always been really good to have the shows available afterwards. So there's a lot of good information in the shows, and we want to make sure that they're still available even when not live.
Okay. I'm getting notifications saying my audio is choppy. Does it sound choppy to you guys?
It doesn't to me, but maybe our control center has some feedback on that.
All right. Well, while we
Just
figure
the
that out.
facts.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just the fact says I did my first 2 cam streams last night at the lake using my 5G hotspot. It worked perfectly. That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't used too many 5G hotspots, but I definitely use 5G with my phone, and it's really, really nice. It's a big upgrade from 4G and LTE.
All right.
Cool. Thank you guys for all the questions. And it looks
Yeah.
like we've got a good amount of people that watch on Twitch, so that's really good to see. Um, Definitely feel free to chat with us. We're monitoring Twitch chat as well. We got to set up those like custom emotes and stuff like that for Twitch, so people can use maybe like a Mevo camera icon emoji or whatever. That would be really cool.
That would be pretty sweet.
Let's see. Cool. So we are kind of wrapping up all the questions. And definitely appreciate everybody watching today. I want to run through our slides real quick before we shut it down. So again, you can go to Mevo.com for the Mevo 3 pack, but we also have the Mevo 3 pack available on our resellers now. So you can find it at Amazon, Best Buy, Adorama, B&H, tons of other places. But again, as I mentioned before, it is really going fast. So be sure to pick one up. And of course, we have the Referral Gram as well, which has been really great for our customers. And that is where you recommend somebody to purchase a Mevo on Mevo.com, and they can get 5% savings, and then you'll get 5% commission for that referral. And you can learn more about that at Mevo.com/referral. And you can even set up a custom code. So if you have a YouTube channel or want to advertise anything specific within the code, you can do that as well. So that's really cool. I like that we have that option. And
Yeah,
of course, you can head over to help.mevo.com, and we've got a huge help section that covers just about everything. We're always adding articles. We have tons of multicam articles. So check those out at help.mevo.com. And then, of course, you can open up a ticket and we'll help you one-on-one as well.
So we have just Rob chiming in. He's saying that Wirecast just updated and now supports NDI5. He's going to be testing his 4 Meevos. Rob, that's awesome.
Cool.
Send us how to, some feedback on how the test went. Send us what you run into. Send us a little report back. So because we'd love to hear when our users are really taking the Mevo to the next level. So when you're hooking up 4 Meevos to a computer via an NDI, you're doing some serious work. So that's awesome, Rob. Thanks.
Yeah, really cool. We were just talking about NDI5 earlier today, and we haven't done as much of a deep dive into it as we'd like. It's been real busy, but we do want to test out NDI Bridge and some of the other cool stuff that New Tech brought using NDI 5. So yeah, I'm really excited to jump into that in the future. I'm a little disappointed that the Mac OS version of NDI 5 tools is not quite as complete as the Windows version, but that tends to be the case with these types of things.
Yeah, it's all part of the development. I mean, like we said it before, just
Right.
with HEVC, right? Like, the technologies are growing, and it's just a matter of keeping up with it and making the adjustments that need to be made.
Yeah, 100%.
So we got a question from Jeff. He says, "Will you guys still be going live on Facebook or only YouTube now?" He likes to watch where he can. Jeff is always chiming in. He said this helps me become more familiar with the software. Absolutely, Jeff. So as of stands right now, we're going to be going to YouTube and Twitch moving forward. And the reason being is we really want to broadcast that 1080 full quality stream. For some, sometimes on Facebook, there's an issue where they only stream 720 through multi-destination platforms. So if like you're going to YouTube and Facebook will only pull the 720 feed. So we want to make sure that the users when they're talking to us, they actually get to experience the full 1080 of the Mevo. So that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. But there's no saying we won't ever go back to Facebook. Things change here all the time. So
It's true. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Great.
Cool.
So, I mean, looks like that's it for questions. Let's see. Check Twitch again. See how Twitch is doing. All right.
Cool. So we are going to wrap up for the day. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget, we are live twice a week, so we'll be live again on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us on twitch.com/Mevo Camera, youtube.com/Mevo Camera, and of course, you can follow us on all of our social networks to keep up to date with everything going on at Mevo Camera everywhere as well. So from all of us here at Mevo, thanks so much for joining us.